It is January 2nd, 2018. I am up for the day. It is 6:45. I got up at 6 o'clock. I have to be at work today at 8. Being that I was off yesterday, so today is my long day. So I'll work 8 to 8. I am dressed for the day. I am wearing my Lululemon leggings that I got for Christmas, a pink blouse from Family Dollar, and I got this years ago on clearance for just a couple bucks. I can't remember exactly if it was 2 or 3. Wearing a tank from Walmart that I got on clearance for $1, and then a overshirt again from Family Dollar that I got on clearance for about $5. Now this was one of those, I had spoken about them earlier, that had a shirt front to it, so it looked like a two-piece, but it really wasn't. And I cut that shirt front out of there, cut it up the seam and cut it out so that I could wear it with all different types of blouses, and it didn't matter. So I'm going to take with me to work in my lunch sack a serving of that pork and sauerkraut, an awfully big serving, so I can divide it hopefully between lunch and dinner if I'm hungry, because I will be there through lunch and dinner hour. Plan on taking a couple beef sticks, a couple cheese sticks, a serving of nuts, my Gatorade, plenty of coffee and tea at work. That's my plans for the day. And then when I come home tonight, I plan on having a skillet pizza. So I've already loaded that stuff into my FitnessPal to see how it works out. Macros are pretty good, so that's the plan for the day. I will get back on here at some point today, just not sure when, however it fits into my schedule. But until then, blessings. Good morning. Welcome to the Rolling Ramble. It is 7:30. I have to be at work at 8. I'm on my way now. What I wanted to talk about today is New Year's resolutions, your plan, and getting caught up in somebody else's plan or agenda. Every New Year's, we all make plans and resolutions, and we've taken the time about the week before to really plan what we're gonna do starting January 1st. How are we gonna eat? When are we gonna exercise? What's acceptable? What's not acceptable? And we have this plan for ourselves. And then we might join some kind of weight loss diet forum, or we join a Facebook group, and the next thing we knew, all these plans that we had for ourselves, everything that we researched, everything that we thought was going to work for us is chucked out that window because we're listening to somebody else's plan. Somebody else talk about what's going to work for them. Somebody else being the keto police, or whatever way of eating you have chose for yourself. They try to police that, be the know-it-all, be-all, in line of this is what it is. You don't do it this way, you're not doing it right. So then you start to question your own plan. You start to question your life experiences. What has worked for you in the past? What do you like? What do you not like? You knew 2 weeks ago what was going to work for you. And then listening to somebody else and what works for them, you're tweaking your whole plan. You're tweaking everything, and then you're out there, you're lost, you're floundering, nothing's working, you seem to be stalled, and you haven't even gotten started yet. And it's all because you chose to listen to somebody else's agenda. You chose to listen to somebody else's plan. So my advice to you and to me is stay the course. Make choices that's going to work for you. Decide what your parameters are and stick with those, regardless of what somebody else has to say to you. Okay, and I have an example of this. Back when I first started, I hated dark chocolate. It was something I did not eat. Well, I was having severe cramping in my feet where my toes were curling up at night. I mean, oh my goodness, it hurt so bad. And somebody on one of the forums had suggested that I eat one piece of dark chocolate a night, that it was 70% or higher. They said that that was on keto because the carbs was low enough, and as long as you allowed for it, you could eat that. So I went to the store and I bought a huge bag of Ghirardelli 72% dark chocolate, individually wrapped squares, so it was portion controlled. And by the time you take the fiber out of those, there's something like 2.5, just round it up. There's 3 carbs per piece. And I was having it for the first month every night. First month I lost 32 pounds. 32 pounds. Obviously, having that piece of dark, bitter, and nasty chocolate did not affect me in the least. But one day I posted a picture on a forum, Facebook forum, of my little care package that I carry with me every day. And in there, because when I drive, I'm so short, my leg is constantly extended if I cannot use cruise control. So when I'm city driving, I end up normally getting cramps in my feet just because of the constant extension to be able to reach the pedal. So I would carry with me in that pouch a couple pieces of the dark chocolate just in case I needed something quick acting magnesium. By the way, I should have told you that's what's in dark chocolate that relieves your cramping, is the magnesium. And sometimes, depending on what you're low on, you can't just take sodium or you just can't take potassium and expect it to relieve the cramping if you're shy on magnesium. And I guess that's what my problem is magnesium, because I can drink all the sodium in the world, soul water out the wazoo, and if I'm not supplementing my magnesium, I'm going to be cramping. So all the keto police attacked about that chocolate. And it's like, I was told at the beginning that it's acceptable. I was told at the beginning that it's keto. It's not keto. And it's like, who are them to decide? Who are they to make up the rules for what is keto? Science makes up the rules for what is keto. And that is when you keep your carbs low enough that you're in ketosis. That's the science of it. If your carbs are low enough that you're in ketosis, you're eating keto. And I don't care what you're putting in your mouth. Now, if you've got arthritic pain and you're eating something that causes inflammation for you, and you're eating a ketogenic diet to correct that, then that's not on plan with your ketogenic diet. But it's not because it's not a keto item, because anything can be keto, because the whole key to keto is keeping yourself in ketosis with whatever carb allotment that happens to be for you, and nobody else can decide that. Now, there is a suggested 20 net. Keeping your carbs below 20 net keeps 90% of the population in ketosis. But technically it's higher than that. Studies have shown 50 net keeps most people in ketosis. But that's most people, not everybody that's coming at a ketogenic diet for diabetes, for weight loss. Then we so are metabolically damaged, we have to go at it lower in the beginning. And then you can increase that as you go along. But that's up to you. That's a decision you have to make for yourself. You cannot allow the keto police, somebody else's agenda, to dictate your journey. And I shouldn't call it keto police, because it doesn't matter what way of life, way of eating you have chosen to do. You cannot allow the food police to tell you what to do. That it frustrates you and derails you before you really even get started, before you get to experiment on what actually works for you or not. Then you've deprived yourself so much because of what you're being attacked for that you fall off plan before you get started. I was on the forums very early this morning and saw a girl being attacked because she was eating carrots. She had put on her plate and took a picture of it, chicken, which looked wonderful, topped with this beautiful layer of cheese. And then she had vegetable medley, which had a little bit of broccoli, some cauliflower, and carrots. And that's all people could pick on was those carrots. Technically, no, carrots are not on a ketogenic food list. But just like the chocolate, the 72% chocolate, if you're eating such low carbs in a day that you can allow a few carrots, nobody has gotten fat and nobody has gotten diabetes that I am aware of. I am not a doctor, but carrots has not caused diabetes. Now, not saying that they can't push you out of ketosis if you eat a truckload of them, because yes, they can. They're a root vegetable. They have starch, yes. Not to say that if you're insulin resistance that they're not going to cause a problem, because yes, they have starch, they can. But maybe that's not the reason you're doing keto. So you have got to decide for yourself and don't allow the food police to dictate your journey. I'm going to get off here. I'm getting ready to get off my exit at work. You guys have a wonderful day. Blessings.